Uh, so today I'm going to explain about basic Unix and Linux commands. First experiment. So let's go to the questions. So my first question is list the contents of user homes directory including the hidden files. So I'm using the command ls space hyphen a, which shows all my directory commands. I mean, like all my directory files and all this stuff, and then even including the hidden files to configure directory 1, directory 2, kfile login, bash profile, bash logout, bash history. Second one is like using the variable directory, list the contents of variable directory, and I'm using cd I'm using the command cd space var, and then I'm showing it all using the ls command, and there comes all my directory files like pdm, cache, centrifugia, crash to empty games are all my files. And then they asked me to create two files, directory 1, directory 2. I have used the command mkdir, that is to create this directory, the file for it, and function name, and then dir1, dir2, the permissions denied, because already the first question itself it shows directory 1, directory 2 because it has already been created. I've already done it before, so that's why it's shown over here. So that's why it's permission denied, because the files has already been created. And then create a hidden file with the name. I've made a hidden file, and then once I'm creating a hidden file dot Shevin is my name, and then I'm using the command ls space -a, and then here comes my file name. Here comes my file in my name, and then change the directory to directory 1. I'm using cd space change it to directory 1, and then copy the file, password file, etc. to current directory with sample.txt. I'm using cd.io. No, I'm sorry. I'm using cp space etc space password sample.txt. And then once I've done, when I'm showing it, sample space.txt comes, and then when I'm showing what is present in sample.txt, all my data comes into it. What all data are present when I've copied it to sample.txt. Next question is change to your home directory using pwd command. So I'm using pwd command over here, and then I'm changing the datas. To this thing, to directory 1, and then that's my home directory, and then it gets changed into the original home directory. And then next question is create a file test.1.txt. So here vim editor with the following contents, and then these are the contents I have to enter into the file test1.txt. For a change, they've asked me to create test1.txt, but I've just created test.txt just to prove that I have used a different file, since like it's just a constants different and number difference. I just use text.txt. I've saved all the data into text.txt, and then I'm going for the sub questions, display the student name, so having research interest as grid computing, and then when I'm using vi space test.txt, the data gets stored, and then I'm using the command grep grid computing test.txt, who all have their research interest as grid computing is displayed over here. And then students name and registration number in the class, I'm using cut space minus f 1 and 2 test, means only the -1 2 means the first column and the second column gets shown from the test.txt, only the name and registration number. And then I'm using list the count of students who have interest in image processing, store the result in another file. So I'm using t image processing who have interest, and just two have interest in it, and then I'm showing it again, and then I'm using ls space -a, where the data's image.txt, the file gets shown over here, displayed over here. All the files get displayed, and then display the first two rows and last two columns, last two, and stored into the first, and then it's showing your cat head -2 txt.txt and tail -2. I'm using this command .t head tail.txt, and the first two and the last two is getting shown over here. Melvin Jervin and the Nadron is getting shown over here. And then display the contents of file text without any blankness, means there should be no blanks in between. So I'm using cat.txt, and then all the data is getting shown over here. Move the file sample text from directory 1 to directory 2. I'm using it, changing it using the command, and then all changing it to directory 2 using mv space moving it to move to sample.txt. Move the sample.txt datas and all the stuff into directory 2, and it's getting changed, and then change directory to directory 2. I'm changing its name from directory 1 to into directory 2, the directory name, and then check whether the file sample text is present there. And I'm using ls and sample.txt. The file sample text is present over there. Rename the file sample into new.txt. I'm renaming it sample.txt into new.txt, and when I'm showing it as ls instead of sample, new.txt comes over there. Display the calendar of December 2020. I'm using cal function cal 12 2020, 12th month of 2020, and then comes the year. Remove the directory 1. I'm using r and dir space dir1. I'm removing that file, and then just dir2 is getting shown over here. dir1 is not shown over here because it got removed. Display the last three lines of file text.txt, and I'm using a tail -3 times. I'm just removing the last three lines of it, and then these three files are getting removed. The last three lines are getting removed. And display the commands you have executed so much in the file, this whole programming system. And then I'm using the history. That's where you have shown all the commands. We just type history, and or what all files after what all file names I have gone into, and then what all commands I've given is all again displayed over here. How many files are present under home directory? I'm using ls space line space wc -1, and 12 is what files are present under my home directory. Perform sorting of these files, and then I've used over here, so I have created file 1, file 2, file 3 over here, file 1, file 2, file 3, and then just copy into file 4. So I have entered some datas into it, and then I'm using cat file 4, and all my data is getting showed over there. And then change the permission of a newly created file such as the group users and others. I'm using ls -154, and the data get entered over here. And then I'm using it file 4, and then ls -154. It's getting gave me the permission. I'm giving a permission. It has given me the permission back. So to change it into the for the permission of newly created files such as group users and others. So they have given me the permission. So here, this is the end of my first experiment, basic Unix and Linux command. Thank you.